Well, good evening, everyone. Really good to be in your companies. Once again, this is your friend, Bishop Elect Edlin Scott, and I want you to like
Well,
and
good
share.
evening, everyone.
I want you to
Really good to
like
be
and
in your
share
companies.
um, this broadcast with all of your friends. Good to have you all join us again for another session of Phenomenal Leadership. Really excited. I'm excited. I'm excited about what God is doing. Yes, this is Phenomenal Leadership. And I'm with you for the next 30 minutes. We got an absolutely beautiful teaching for you today. We've been talking about something that's very important. How do leaders gain influence? Influence is so important. So we started this on Tuesday night of this week, and I'm going to really be following this entire series until I'm finished with it. So I'm really going to be following the entire thing until I'm finished with it. So I want you to reach out to somebody, let them know that I'm live with Phenomenal Leadership, and please let me know where you're watching me from, where you're watching from, and that's so important to me. How leaders gain influence. Everybody has some level of influence. Everybody has some level of influence. But influence is something that you got to increase every day. You cannot really help people if you don't have no level of influence. The answer, because people have to take you seriously. People have to really want to listen to you. So if people don't really want to hear you or don't want to listen to you, I don't care how good your message is. They may not just look at it. When Moses was traveling and he saw the bush, fire in it, and it's not consumed, so he turned aside and he looked, because that caught his attention. And so John Maxwell says that leadership is all about influence. Leadership is all about influence. So influence really is something that you've got to get and continue to get as much as you can, because what you needed last week, you're going to need a lot more this week. Because as people grow, then you ought to be growing. So on Tuesday, I started taking apart the word influence. INFLUENCE. And so I started on Monday on Tuesday with the first part of influence. And what does it start with? It starts with integrity. Integrity is the ability to know the right choice before crisis time comes. See, it's easy to make the right turn when you know ahead of time what you want to do. So integrity is all about knowing ahead of time what it is that you need to do. And so crisis doesn't bring out the character. Crisis only brings out whatever's in there. So if a robber is in there, Christ is only going to bring the robber out. If a good person is in there, Christ is only going to reveal who that good person is. Okay, so we started with the I. Influence, how to gain it, you need integrity. Then the N. A leader that wants to gain influence has to be a nurturer. So you have to know how to nurture. Now, the nurturing side of leadership is the soft side. Leaders have a problem with being soft. Leaders seem to have a problem with caring or appearing to be that you care. Showing up to people that, hey, look, I care. So, nurture, when you look up the word nurture talks about caring for and protecting someone or something while they are growing. The word nurture is caring for someone or something while they are growing. The word nurture speaks to help or encouraging the development. Leaders that has to have influence or wants to create influence has to be able to help people grow. You got to be able to create an atmosphere for people to grow in. And in doing that, you have to show people that you care. People don't want to know what you know until they hear how much you care or see how much you care. People want to see how much you care before they find out what it is that you know. So a nurturer is a caring person. If you want to see the strength, all right? If you want to see the strength, I want to try to keep in touch with all of you that are watching me tonight. So I'm trying to monitor at least 2 platforms. All right. So your level of influence is going to be as deep as your care. If you don't care for people, your influence in their life will be very, very shallow. So, the deeper you are willing to nurture, to get into people or to show you're caring for people, will determine how much influence you're going to have in their life. Because Jesus showed the people that he cared so much for them, they followed him, lost track of time, and they followed him like out of one town into another town. And not only did they followed with their children, their whole family followed them. And so one of the disciples touched him and said, "Hey, Lord, it's getting late. We got to send these people home. Because, number 2, we ain't got enough food to feed them." So Jesus says, "Well, you better give me what you got then, because we got to do something for these people." Your influence in people's lives is only as deep as your care for them. If you really don't care for them, then your influence in their life is going to be very, very shallow. So, nurturing the soft side of leadership that's the hardest part. The soft, and you would think that being the soft part should be the easy part, but really it is the hard part of leadership. It's hard to show people that you care, because you can't fool people. You cannot fool people. People will pick up right off the bat whether you care for them or not. And I don't want you to ever feel that people cannot detect whether you care or you don't care. So, to create influence, a leader must nurture people. You must nurture people. Now, I heard it said this way. They said that if you're afraid to get close to people, you are also afraid of helping them. If you are afraid to get close to people, you are also afraid of helping them. And if you're afraid to get close to them, you cannot help them and they can't help you. So that's the downside of being distant from people. You're too far to help them, and they're too far to help you. So that's a kind of serious thing. So listen, I want you to like it and share this out. Share it out. Let somebody know that Pastor Scott is back with phenomenal leadership, and let's see where this takes us. All right. So a leader that's creating influence is a leader that nurtures people. A nurturer is concerned about people. Leaders have to be concerned. You have to be concerned about people. A leader that's concerned about their position over the people will soon lose their position. I've seen many people protect their position, or their concern is their position. They recruit people to help their position. Wrong motive. And so it's going to be short-lived. The only reason some people will reach out to you if it's going to benefit them. And that's the wrong thing. See, a nurturer is concerned about your growth, not how they look. A nurturer is concerned about your growth. A leader is concerned about your growth, not about their growth. My vision is not more powerful than your vision. I'm in your life to help you. I am here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock to help you. Because to gain influence as a leader, you must firstly have integrity, and then you must be a nurturer. A nurturer cares for people. A nurturer helps and encourages development. A nurturer is concerned about developing people. Whatever it takes to make you better, a nurturer does that. And so, because a nurturer does that, a nurturer gains influence because people want to be with people who care about them. People don't want to be with people who do not care. If you don't care about me, I mean, you don't have no influence. Leadership is about influence. People follow you because they want to. People follow you because they have to. People only follow people who their salary, on jobs. You only, the boss miserable, the supervisor miserable, but you're there because, Lord, the children got to eat, the bills got to pay, and so you deal with it. But when people follow you because they want to, that's a totally different kind of spirit and a totally different kind of person. Because they're following you because they want to. And that comes about influence. But you got to create and gain influence on a day-to-day basis. So we're talking about how do you do this. Firstly, we talked about on Tuesday. So if you didn't watch it, go back on YouTube, Edlin Scott page, or on this Facebook page, and go back into listen to Tuesday. Tuesday talked about integrity. Integrity. Because when you break people's trust, you're not going up no more. Once people's trust is broken in your life, between you and them, you all might say go east and west. Because it's going to take a long while if it ever gets restored. So, a nurturer is concerned about people, not their position. Leaders that are concerned about their position about people will soon lose their position. But leaders who are concerned about people over their position will strengthen their position. If you're a leader and you don't have nobody following you, you're not a leader. You're just taking a walk by yourself. You're just taking a journey. You take on a project by yourself. So, and like I said earlier, people can tell when you concerned about the job or your position than the people. See, when it becomes about the position don't care how it survives. The position don't care if it kills everybody so it can survive. David, there's a story in the Bible where David, after fighting, he was so thirsty. And David was thirsty for some water, and he wanted some water from a well in Jerusalem. But the men that went to go get the water for him, they heard him talking, so they went to go get the water for him. They put their lives in danger just to go get this water for their leader. And when they came back with the water, rather than drink the water that they risked their lives for, David didn't see himself worthy enough to drink that water. He didn't feel worthy enough to drink the water. Listen, I hear people say, I'm standing tall because I'm standing on your shoulder. Leaders don't stand on people's shoulder. Leaders allow people to stand on their shoulders. And they can tell. Now, let's kind of break down what nurturing is all about. Let's break it down a little bit. Nurturing doesn't mean that you need people. Now, this coming across a little tough, but listen to it. Listen to it before you shut me down. When you need people, there is a codependent. There's a codependent, and you really can't nurture people that you depend on. See, nurturing is a concern. Nurturing is a love. If you don't love people, you will always find a reason not to mess with them. You will always find a reason not to give them a second chance or go an extra mile. It got to be motivated by love. But when I need you and you need me, that's a codependent. So that could be a kind of rough. And listen, you can't nurture people when you need them. It should always be about you serving them. Now, I can break it down. Nurturing is all about committing to people. Whether you ever tells me thank you or not, I have an obligation to you. There are people that watch and they don't even people figure out how to watch without logging into it so they can still hear it without logging into it. So half the time they're never even on. You'll be surprised the amount of people that I meet. And I've never seen them showed up in the chat stream. Never seen them showed up in the chat stream, right? But they can tell me what it is that I taught. Right? So I have a commitment. I have a commitment to those of you that are live with me, that I can see on the chat stream. And then I have a commitment to those that I can't see. Because it's not about making me big. It's about caring for. It's about protecting someone while they are growing. I'm in your life to protect you while you are growing. While you are becoming, I'm in your life to help you to become. I'm in your life to encourage development. And so, encouraging development, sometimes it comes with a price. Sometimes I got to pay out some money to encourage a development. But I realize that it's not about me saying I got 5,000 followers. It's about me finding that one person that's really looking for me, reach out there and help them to grow, to be able to nurture. To be able to nurture, you got to be able to be committed to people. Watch this. The people that you help, it's always on their terms. Always on their terms. Never on your terms. So you got to be able to go that extra mile, go around, and be able to get there. To be a nurturer, you got to be a lover of people. A lover of people. When you need people, you're looking for something from them. When you love them, you ain't looking for nothing from them. When you love people, you're not looking for anything from them. When you love a thing, okay. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Without a thought, he had no more. He gave his only begotten son. Didn't even think about it. The Lord said to Abram, give me your only son. He loved the Lord so much that he gave it to him. When you are a leader, in order to gain influence, People got to see and feel your love. People got to be in an environment like your love have to make the room smoky. Your love have to be, when people looking at you, they got to be able to see the love. When their back is turned to you, they got to still see or feel the love. It just has to happen. The other week I was in Florida preaching, and the spirit, I was at Divine Worship Center with Pastor Brown, and I began to pray for that church. I prayed for that church. That church blessed me in so much because they did so much for my spirit. They did so much for my spirit. And the reason why Pastor Brown and the saints at Divine Worship Center is going to be blessed because of the spirit that they received me in. See, when they came to Nassau, the only thing I did was pick them up at the airport and I drove them around. So they really didn't know anything about me. But when I went to them, they received me not as the bus driver. They received me not as the person picking up their luggages at the airport. They received me in the spirit of the bishop. The bishop is coming to our church. And because they received me in that spirit, that's the spirit that's going to bless them. See, if they had received me in the spirit of the driver, all they would have been getting from me would have been hospitality. But they received me in the spirit of the bishop. And so that spirit is what ministered to them. That spirit is what brought a blessing to their house. Moshabaha, Rebeki Shandarabahusa. See, the reason why Obed-Edom was blessed, Obed-Edom was blessed because of the spirit that he received the Ark of the Covenant with. David doesn't want anything to do with the Ark of the Covenant. So David said, no, I don't want to touch that. So David took it to Obed-Edom's house. Obed-Edom didn't say, don't leave it here. Obed-Edom had respect. Obed-Edom had respect for the things of God because he welcomed the things of God in his house. He welcomed the things of God, the spirit that they receive him with. They don't receive him with the right. The influence is going to be heightened. The influence is going to be bigger. So, you got to be committed to him, and you got to love him. You got to be committed to him, and you got to love him. The next thing a nurturer does. The nurturer lifts people. I am committed. I love you, and I'm prepared to lift you. Hayabahasha. I am reaching out my hand today to you because I want to lift you. See, nurture means to care for. To care for. I am here to care for you. I am in your life to care for you. I study and I do research because I care for you. And anything that I find that I feel that can benefit you, I'm heading that direction. In fact, I was playing with it in my head. And I want to really start my master's degree. And I've been playing with my head. I said, Lord, do I really have the time to follow? And then the thought came to me, I'm not going to be in any position to help people. And guess what? You are so important. That whatever I can find, whatever I can to empower my life, God places it in. A leader is a nurturer of people. What does a leader do? What does a leader do for people? A leader got your back. On Monday just passed, the Lord moved upon me, and I prayed a prayer. Talk to me, let me know, say, Pastor, send me the prayer, and I'll find a way to send that prayer to you. I'll send the prayer to you. Glory to God. Because I believe this is the season. This is the season where the nurturer cares for, and protects. And so God said to me, send out the prayer. The prayer is a covering, a protection. It's a door opening. It has healing. I don't care whatever it is that you're going through, you're dealing with. If you're in my life, I believe that prayer can be a blessing for you. So, and it's free of charge. I'll just send it to you. Just reach out to me. I'll find a way to get it to you. So, a nurturer cares for people, protects them while they are growing. When you look at your kids, you don't want nobody mess with your kids. You hover over them. You make sure that everything is cool. You look out for them because they are your kids. So that's what you do. That's what you do. A nurturer helps and encourage development. So, do you know what I know? I know that sooner or later, I'm going to teach some of you all right out of my life. Yeah. What are you talking about, Pastor? We're not going to split up, but you're going to grow to a place where, you know what Dr. Paul Christ told me, he's died and gone on to be with the Lord. He says, what you get is not for you. What you get is for others. And so you have the responsibility of teaching it to others. And so I really didn't see it when he said it to me, but I stepped out on it. And a couple of months later, Apostle said to me, go on the church site and start doing some services on the church site. And now it's been 2 years. I've been doing it on the church site, and it just took off. It just took off. Because God has not given it for me. He's given it for me for distribution. And so a nurturer encourages development. I want to put you in an and so a nurturer encourages development. I'm not afraid of development. I'm not afraid that after a while some of you gonna be experiencing so much from the teachings that you're gonna be out there doing your own thing. Whenever you're doing your own thing, then I have been successful. When you are there standing on your own and teaching others, I have been successful. I heard somebody says, you fail. You have failed if you have not prepared your successor. Elijah and Elisha. One said to the other, look here, if you see me when I'm taken up, you're straight. Now, not that he wasn't developed, he was developed. But whatever dropped from him, he needed to get that. And so he watched them until that dropped. Glory to God. And so, I know I get excited sometimes, but leaders gain influence by having good integrity, and they are nurturers. Here's what we're going to talk about on Tuesday. Now, this Saturday, I'm not going to have Morning Glory. I'm not going to have Morning Glory Saturday because my grandmother is going to be buried, and I'm preaching the funeral for my grandmother on this coming Saturday. So y'all pray for us as we lay her to rest. 94 years old. She's gone on to be with the Lord. So this coming Saturday, we're going to be doing that. But next week, Tuesday, if God spares our life. Next week, Tuesday. All right. Remember I told you that we're dealing with all the letters in influence. So on Tuesday, we dealt with the I of influence, which was integrity. All right? And so today we deal with the N, which was nurturing. On next week, Tuesday, we're going to talk about faith. A leader that wants to gain influence has to have faith in people. If you don't, I don't want to mess with it too much, but if you don't believe in people, it don't even make sense. If you do not have faith in them, you'll never gain no level of influence. All right, listen, I got to go. I don't want to keep you long, but I've done my 30 minutes. But listen, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Continue to pray for us. This is Phenomenal Leadership. I want you to like and share. Integrity is easy when you know beforehand what is right. So when crisis time comes, crisis doesn't reveal the character. Crisis only reveals who you are. Crisis doesn't build the character. It only reveals the character whoever you are, when the crisis time comes, know what is the right thing to do and be a nurturer. A nurturer, the soft side of leadership. Everyone think of be the big, bad, and bold. No, no, no. There's a soft side of leadership, and it's called the nurturer. God bless you. Have an absolutely beautiful, beautiful evening. Thank you all for joining me tonight for Phenomenal Leadership. I'm your friend, Bishop-elect Ed Linscott. Listen, I should have put it up on the screen earlier. Kind of forgot a little bit. But our women's convention begins on next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then ends on Sunday morning. So I want you to be a part of the women's convention. Minister Scott, my wife, she's in charge of our women's convention. We're going to have 3 great speakers. Reverend Sabrina Pinder from St. Mark Native Baptist Church, Reverend Angela Roll from the Church of God, and Reverend Lorraine Russell. She's from Love Word Finding. And then on Sunday morning, Minister Roberta Scott is going to be the speaker. And so come, let's celebrate together. 40 years of ministry. Voice of Deliverance has been around. Come on, let's be a part of the service. Let's follow it. Let's see what God says. Next week, we're talking about faith in people. How does leaders gain influence? By having faith in people. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.